Hello and welcome to Pick a Card Palace. In today's Pick a Card reading, we will be answering the question, what can you do about your job situation? In other words, this reading is about advice. We're going to give you some advice on your job situation. And for this reading, we have three options. We have option 1, happy, option 2, sad, and option 3, embarrassed. Once you have made your selection, just scroll down to the description box where you'll find links that will take you directly to each of the readings. Now I'm going to give you a little time to decide which one before we get started. Okay, so if you chose this emoji, happy, option 1, this will be your reading. You put that there? Okay, so again, the question we're answering today is what can you do about your job situation? I'm just going to just offer you some hopefully quick advice here about your job situation. So actually, let's start by finding out what your job situation actually is. So for option, this way you can know if this is your reading or not, because like if it's not resonating that that's your job situation you want to hear about, then choose another option or choose another reading. I don't know that I have any job readings on this channel just yet other than this one, but I have another channel called Table and Sky, and maybe I'll link that in the description box. I'll link to, I think I've done at least one reading on jobs at my other channel, and it is a pick a card reading, so you can check that out. Okay, so back to the reading at hand. For option 1, those who chose happy, what is their current job situation? Okay, we have the World, and we have the Page of Cups. Oh, okay, so this is interesting. It seems option 1 that you could be at a turning point in your career or the job in particular, a particular job. But this seems more like maybe an actual turning point in your career, in your professional path. And something is changing. Something big, it looks like, is changing. You could be moving from one company to another. You could be moving from one career to another, actually. Because here with the page, I'm getting the sense of something new and something fresh, something that you care about, but at the same time, you are not terribly experienced in just yet. You are at a place where you want to learn more and you want to get your feet wet, so to speak. And so you're here today maybe to find out more about what you can do to move towards your new path, or move forward on this new path, this new bend in the road for your career. Now, if that is resonating with you, if that is what you're here to hear about, then stick around. If not, try another pile or another reading. There's, like I said, I'll link in the description box my other job reading. It's timeless. But anyway, let's continue now for those of you who are hanging in there. So, now that we know what the situation is, what's the advice? What is the advice for those who chose option 1? What is the advice for their career now, how to move things forward? Okay, we have El Fidget Spinner. And we have La Bomber Jacket. Okay, so it appears here that the cards are indicating that you need to get into a calmer and more focused state of mind. It could be that your emotions are sometimes running high or getting the best of you. You could be feeling quite anxious about this change. You might be worried, oh, am I really making the right decision, or am I going to be able to be successful here? Is this the path for me at this time, the job for me at this time, whatever the case may be? Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't have what it takes because I just am not, naturally suited to this, or whatever you're telling yourself. The cards are saying calm down and take action, concrete action, to get better at what you're doing or planning to do. Like, really roll up your sleeves and get to work on training. There are so many options now for people who maybe don't want to go take a formal class at a university or a technical college or anything like that. I mean, just go online, and like, I think there's one of many type websites called, I think it's Coursera. That's what's coming to my mind. Coursera. I think that's right. Hopefully that's let me check that out. Let me make sure. I don't want to tell you something wrong. I believe that's one of them. But there are other platforms like Coursera. I think it's Coursera, where you can go and, like, for a low cost, you can purchase, courses taught by experienced people, experts, and the like. And you can learn on your own time, and you don't have to break the bank. So, in fact, I believe there are maybe some free courses, and they offer, according to this website here, career certificates. So that's really great. But yeah, there are other websites like Coursera, and I don't know the names of them off the top of my head. But yes, some of the courses there are free, but you can go and check it out, or go check out some other. Just do a search maybe on sites like Coursera, just to get other options. And if you're in a particular field, you can probably go to various professional organization websites that would point you in the right direction of, what materials would be helpful. Or even you can network and find other people. You can find people to mentor you or shadow you. And there's so many ways that you can get better, and you can take action so that you don't just keep stewing in your own fear, because you're not going to get anything done by doing that. And of course you should be anxious about starting something new, but that doesn't mean it has to rule over you. It doesn't mean that you're doomed to fail just because you're dealing with some fears around the change. The cards are saying go forward boldly. So let's see what else we can find out here. Just a little parting thought here about what you can do. So what other advice is there for option 1 regarding this topic? Okay, we have, what is that? It's some kind of slowness. I don't know what the word, I'm sorry. These words, some of my cards are not, they don't have English labels, and I'm not really good all the time with the translation. Okay, this is friendly thoughts. Okay, I think this is something about, like, slowness. I think I said that. Okay, so anyway, the cards here are indicating that, it's okay to go slowly, just so long as you don't let your fear overtake you to the extent that you just become paralyzed by it. Take one baby step. Like I said, that one baby step could be just to do an internet search on, Coursera, or sites like Coursera, or professional organizations where you can, hook up with other people. Or, hey, like, go over to some mega board like Reddit, I mean, they've got about everything, and you can probably find people who are already doing that job and see what they have to say about it and what kind of training they got or didn't get or whatever. You can, chat with them, befriend them, ask them questions. Just start somewhere. And the more you do that, the more hopefully you can build up your confidence and move forward. So I think that's about it for today. That's all I have for you, option one. I hope this was helpful to you. Thank you very much for joining me. All right, so now I'm going to move on to the next group. Okay, so if you chose this card, sad, the sad emoji, option 2, this will be your reading. Now we are going to discuss what can you do about your job situation. We will be offering advice on your job situation, but before we get into that, let's just confirm that you have the right reading, that this is the one for you, by seeing what your job situation actually is at this time that has brought you to this reading. So for those who chose option 2, what is their job situation currently? What is it? Okay, we have the 6 of Swords, and we have Strength. Okay, option 2. So this shows you either moving on from something or thinking a lot about it and trying to make an actual plan of the word that came to me is escape. But maybe you're afraid to take the plunge. You're afraid to move things forward. And if that is the case, the cards are at least indicating that there is courage within you. There is inner strength that you can draw on to help you to make the transition, so to speak. You chose the sad card, so I can only, or emoji, I can only assume here that you feel sad about your situation. It could be that you're moving on from something not by choice. Maybe things happened in your current situation or your most recent situation, and now you find yourself having to navigate a lot of uncertainty about where you're going and how you're going to get there in one piece. So if that is your story, your situation, stay with me here. We're going to get some advice for you. If this is not your story, not your situation, please choose another option in this reading or choose another reading. I have linked in the description box another job reading that I did some time ago. It is a timeless reading, so you might be interested in that one. It is on another channel, though. It's on my other channel, Table and Sky. So go check that out if you're at all interested, whether this resonates with you or not, actually, this one. You can watch this one and then go watch that one if you want to. But anyway, for those of you who are staying, let's get into it. So for those who chose option 2, what can they do about their job situation? What can they do about this here? What is the advice? Okay, and I always don't know what's going to come out on this in this deck. Okay, had to kind of censor there for YouTube. There you go. See, nice and YouTube friendly now, I hope. That is lock, pick. Okay, and let me see what else we got here. We also have L Juice Cleanse. Okay, you got an interesting you got an interesting message here. Option 2. The cards are saying it's actually healthy for you to recognize that I'm trying to figure out how I can say this in a nice way and not a crude way, but like, I think the cards are saying, you know, that situation that you're moving on from, if you are moving on from something not by choice, like you need to get into a mindset of like, well, I'll use another F word. Forget them. Forget that. You know, I mean, you need to do what's right for you at this point and not dwell on the hurt, not dwell on the rejection, if that's how you feel, if that's what happened. Instead, you know, say, hey, this situation doesn't have to be the end of me. It doesn't have to ruin me. It doesn't have to bring me down. This is going to bring out my inner strength. This is going to bring out my inner lion, or perhaps my inner lion tamer. You don't have to accept whatever they dumped on you psychically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, you know, by whatever they did. You do have the freedom to go forward, and you do have what it takes to succeed. You do have something good waiting for you on the other side of this transition. Now, for those of you where you maybe didn't, I mean, where this is I'm sorry, if this is something you are choosing to walk away from, move away from, then the cards are saying, you know, take a playful attitude towards it, you know, a curious one. Have fun with going forward and finding. Look at it this way: you get the opportunity, you get the chance, you get the privilege of finding something that's better for you at this time in your life, in your career. Because if something is not working for you anymore, life is short, and you should be trying to find what's going to bring you better happiness, satisfaction, and peace of mind. Again, you have what it takes. You know, so if you have to dig down deep and find the courage for it, so be it. But the inner strength is there for you to follow through and overcome the, you know, maybe negative emotion here, so that you can succeed. It is possible. You can do it. So is there any other advice here for option 2 regarding their job situation? What is the other advice? Okay, we have elevation, and we have water. Now, I find it interesting that we've got water on this card, and actually the Six of Swords in the original Rider-Waite-Smith deck actually depicts a boat moving over the water. And here in this card, we also have a boat on the water here. So this is, again, encouraging you to move on. So if you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready for that, the cards are encouraging you to move forward with those plans. At the very least, keep looking into it. And the cards indicate here that there is the possibility for career advancement if you do. I also think it's interesting because strength, this card, is associated with the sign of Leo, and Leo is ruled by the sun. And look what we've got here. We've got the sun rising over the pyramids in Egypt, and then we've also got the astrological symbol for the sun there. So it seems to me the cards are saying that, again, you have the courage to do this, and you'll have success. You'll have a better situation on the other side of all of this instead of a worse one. But yeah, you've got to call on your inner strength to do what is necessary. And you don't have to just jump into the water and flail around. Like, you can make a plan of how you're going to move forward. And so the cards are urging you to do that now. Yeah, this is not, I think, a message about looking back. It's a message about going forward. And you have the support you need, and you have the inner resources that you need. Option 2. So, okay, so that is your reading, option 2. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to move on to the next reading now. Okay. Okay, if you chose this card, Embarrassed, option 3, this will be your reading. Again, we are answering the question, what can you do about your job situation? And we're going to give you some advice on that job situation. But before we do that, we need to figure out whether this, in fact, is your reading or not. So we're going to look and see what is your job situation, or at least what is the job situation for the collective that's watching this particular option. And if you find that you don't resonate with this is not what you're here for, is not what your situation is, then feel free to go and choose another option in this reading, or you can scroll down to the description box where I have linked another job reading that I did some time ago. It's actually on my other channel, Table and Sky. Go check that out if you're interested in sign-based readings. But I actually have quite a few pick-a-cards over there too. But I just decided to start a separate channel for the pick-a-cards, which is what you're watching now. You're watching the new separate channel. But anyway, yeah, go check that out if, well, whether you resonate with what I'm about to tell you or not, actually. You can go and see that, or just find another reading on YouTube. There's so many. Okay, so for those who chose option 3, if this is going to resonate with you, let's see what we got. So what is the job situation for those who chose option 3? We've got the 8 of Wands, and we have the 9 of Cups. Okay, option 3. Interesting. Interesting. So it seems that you have something that you really, really want. You think it will make you happy and fulfilled. It's your dream career, perhaps, or your dream job. And maybe you were like full steam ahead going towards that. And if that's the case, wonderful. And here you are now wanting some advice maybe on how to move forward. But the fact that you chose the Embarrassed card makes me wonder if you are embarrassed about something here in this process. Are you embarrassed about the career path that you want to take? Are you embarrassed about something that you did to move towards that career path? Are you having some dealings with some people professionally where you feel like you have done or said the wrong thing and now they don't think well of you or something like that? If any of that applies to you, the gestalt of that, then stay tuned. This is your reading. If not, as I said, go choose something else. So for option 3, now that we know their situation, what is the advice? What advice is there for option 3 here regarding this job situation they've got? We've got El Makeup Tutorial. And we've got El Gentrification. Okay, so option 3, I don't know, I can't quite remember now. Did I actually say it? I was thinking it. We were talking about the embarrassment factor. I wonder now whether you were, I think I said, have you chosen something where you think that it's maybe people would laugh at you or something like that? It may be that your dream is to do something that people around you believe would ridicule you for. Maybe it's something creative. Maybe you want to strike out on social media and do something big there. And you feel like you don't really know what you're doing, or you're putting yourself out there and people are, laughing at you instead of with you. Um, I don't know, but maybe that's part of your issue. The cards are indicating that there's a way to overcome that. Um, just because something may be less mainstream, it doesn't mean that the way you approach it or present yourself while doing it has to be on the fringe, shall we say. What I mean here is that let's just take an example. Say, so maybe you want to, I don't know, maybe you want to do some kind of, maybe you want to be like a, okay, we'll take this, we'll do this right now, okay? Maybe you want to be a card reader. Maybe you want to, be a tarot YouTuber, or over on TikTok or wherever. Maybe you want to do those things, but you're like, my friends and family and the current coworkers I've got, maybe they'll think, well, that's weird and kooky and embarrassing, and I mean, like, what, so maybe they won't understand, shall we say. But the thing about it is that you don't have to approach it as though you are going to, like, put on a turban and wear big dangling earrings and have a big crystal ball and, gaze into it and, do all of this theatrical stuff that's stereotypically, new agey and woo-woo. You don't have to do it that way. You can do it another way. And you can go and look around there. There's more than one type of reader. I'm not knocking the people who do it in the way I just described. Okay, that's their thing and they enjoy it, and they've probably got audiences that also enjoy it. But for you and your sense of pride about what you want to do, you may want to approach it in a more, I don't know, I almost want to say like traditionally professional type of way, which is to say, you may want to turn it into a more business-like presentation. Instead of saying that you do readings, you might say that you do consultations. Instead of dressing up like I just said, maybe you actually put on, business attire. Maybe you provide practical guidance instead of telling people about how they can, work on their chakras or connect with their spirit guides or anything like that. I mean, like, again, all of those things have their place. I'm not knocking them at all. I'm simply saying that for you, maybe you want more of that kind of presentation. And this will help you, because if you feel good about what you're doing, you'll be able to apply yourself more consistently and hopefully achieve your goals, your hopes and dreams. But as long as you stay embarrassed about it, you're probably going to just kind of hide in the shadows and let it be something you wish you could do, but you're not really full steam ahead doing it. Not really. Okay? So that's just an example. You might have something that's not related to my example, but I hope that you kind of understand what I'm getting at here, is that there's a different way to approach almost any kind of career. Let yourself be different than maybe the typical person who's doing this type of work, whatever that type of work is for you. Let's see what else we can get from the cards here. just a bit more advice for you. So what other advice is there for option 3 regarding their job situation? Okay, let's see. We've got fire. And we have news. Okay, so interestingly, the cards are encouraging you to keep on making your effort. You know, I think I mentioned earlier that maybe you've been like full steam ahead and all this kind of stuff, or in your mind at least. But yeah, maybe you have already been doing something towards reaching your goal, and the cards are encouraging you to continue to work on it, continue, you know, grinding, continue having that enthusiasm and putting all that energy into it and innovating. The cards here are indicating, you know, again, make it your own. You don't have to be some kind of cookie cutter professional, whatever that, you know, professional title is that you're seeking or pursuing. Be you most and foremost, and you'll be more authentic and probably more effective. So that is your reading, option 3. Thank you very much for joining me. Until next time, goodbye. Oh, usually turn this off. Goodbye.